Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 1042 for the 31st of December for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. And major news, and before I jump into it, Happy New Year. Basically, the whole world is in the new year by this point of time, and except for the Hawaiians, so the people in the Pacific Ocean. You guys should really consider subscribing to the flat world theory, because I think that's more fair. If not, it's very ridiculous. Everybody have a different Happy New Year time. Anyway, big developments. The Ukrainian forces have abandoned Kurakhove. As far as I'm concerned, they basically have abandoned the settlement. Russian forces has been geolocated over at the very end of this settlement. The power plant, the Russian forces basically have been geolocated at this very spot. There is of course still this industrial area that is probably still under Ukrainian control, but by the look of it, I think they're going to abandon because they don't even want to fight at the power station. So the Russian forces basically have taken the entire northern part or northern shores along the reservoir of Kurakhove. And this means that Kurakhove is on the verge of full capture by the Russian forces. And the fact that there is so little fighting, seemingly, over at the power station means that the Ukrainian forces basically have withdrawn and abandoned Kurakhove to celebrate the New Year. They need to rush back to watch some fireworks. Not that there is no fireworks happening all around here. Fireworks is happening all over the place. Too much, in fact, very deadly. So it's better that they have lesser fireworks and probably escape to Dashne at the very least. So this is a very, very major update. And which is why I wanted to start off with this. So at the Kurakhove sector, we have also other news with Russian forces not just taking grounds over in Kurakhove, they are also attacking Dashne, Shevchenko. They have taken more grounds on the western part of Sonsevka in the direction of Petropavlivka, and they have also secured more grounds in the northwest of Sonsevka towards Slovianka. So the Russians are making great progress on the very last day of 2024. Today is the 1st of January of 2025. So again, I want to wish you guys Happy New Year. I hope everybody have a healthy, prosperous, lucky, and happy New Year. Because I want it myself. It's just I wish you good thing. Then maybe the Holy Spirit's up there. Think, oh, such a good boy. I shall give him what he wish other people. It's very self-serving. It's a messed up. Don't be like me. So anyway, you can tell I'm in pretty good spirit. So we go into the Kherson front first. As we go on to the rest of the front line. At Kherson front, there's really nothing much. There's only shelling reported at Antonivka and Bontiantivka. But there is a geolocation, a very significant one. A HIMARS was allegedly destroyed or at least a few HIMARSes destroyed at Davidiv Breed. I saw the footages. The missile strike. I'm not even sure if it's on target. I mean the cluster munition actually was on target. The actual missile itself seems to have missed, but I'm not sure if it's actually destroyed. But definitely, they got spotted. It's a four vehicle convoy, and they got hit. So anyway, whatever it is, the Ukrainians sending HIMARS here is like a waste of time. I'm not sure what's the point. But anyway, over in the Zaporizhia front, we have fighting reported at Novoandrievka. It seems like there is always some kind of operation moving over in the Novoandrievka region, but we don't have the mapping updates or whatnot to reflect on this. Over in the Velika Novosilka sector, or the Velika Novosilka front, there's fighting reported over in Velika Novosilka itself. It's unsure if they are actually storming it. There's fighting reported at Nekushne as well as Rivnopil. And I was thinking, it's New Year Eve or New Year, and maybe they were chill a bit. Maybe they decided to not fight for one day. Just relax. Celebrate the New Year. But no, they're still operating. And yeah, it is just the reality of warfare and actually soldiering. This is why despite I was a soldier, I don't really like it. Yeah, it's like you have to do things when you really don't want to do it. You really don't feel like doing it, but you have to do it. That's life as a soldier. There's fighting reported towards Bahatia as well as Rosleaf. Bahatia was mentioned by the Russian Defense Ministry. Probably it's just some shelling. At Rosleaf, both is reported by both defense ministries. So definitely there's some kind of action around this sector. We move on. At the Uzbenivka region, we have fighting reported in Yatarny as well as Konstantinopolsk. So basically, it looks like the Russians are trying to consolidate this line, this area here, as they attack in the both regions here. But the Ukrainians are still holding out at this moment. So that's all. Kurakhove, as we have already covered, we move into the Pokrov front. So at the Pokrov front, we have, can I squeeze everything in? Barely. So never mind. So over in this Ukrainka region, there's fighting reported at Ukrainka, and there's fighting reported in Zoria. This actually is South Pokrov, because Slovianka I did mention just now. So fighting near Zoria and Ukrainka. So that is the South Pokrov sector. At the Pokrov sector itself, we have fighting reported at Novovasilivka, Solone, Vovkove, towards Kotliny, Pischane, Shevchenko, Vorozhenia, Zeleny, Dechansky, as well as Lysivka. And geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting hit just south of Pokrov, which is like a infantry fighting vehicle getting hit. Russian forces continue to make progress around Vovkove and Solone. So I just want to zoom in a bit so we can actually see what they have done. What have you done? Always yeah, so the Russian forces take some of the tree lines west of Pischane. This is based on Ukrainian mapping, by the way, and they have also traveled west from Vovkove. This salient here is Kobe. Most likely the Russians have basically straightened in this way rather than having this ridiculous gray zone in between Pischane and Vovkove. Russian forces also have taken almost the entirety of Solone. Clearly the Ukrainians aren't defending. Maybe the unmotivated Ukrainian soldiers decided to yeah, I'm not gonna die on the New Year Eve. No, then they just abandon position. So yeah, Russians just take the position. Seemingly too easy. But no, yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, that's Solone. So that's the updates over from the Pokrov sector of the Pokrov front. Over the Minokhrad region, there is fighting reported near Minokhrad, Promin, and Novotoresk. Maybe the Minokhrad one, yeah, it's mentioned by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, so the Russians are definitely pushing near to this location. Over in the northern sector, we have fighting reported at Zelenopole and Baranivka. Baranivka is mentioned by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. This could actually be a new direction the Russians are pushing. As I mentioned before, it's not very meaningful to push in this direction at this moment due to the strategic situation that the Russians have right now. Like the only reason you push this in is to collapse the entire New York front. But as the Ukrainians have a very heavy entrenchment around here, so it's not particularly meaningful. Yeah, I think it's just a diversion. I don't think this is significant. Over the Thorax front, we have fighting reported at Shebenivka as well as Thorax. But that's all. We move into the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, we have, let me see, mainly happening in the south and at Chasiv Yar. Fighting is reported at Bilhora, Priteshne, Stuposhki, and Chasiv Yar. And at Chasiv Yar, there are some very significant frontline changes. Over in the northern part of Chasiv Yar, Russian forces geolocated in the Pinishne sector or the neighborhood with this sudden advance penetrating through. There's a geolocation of Russian forces back at the industrial zone just outside. I didn't map it into taking the building, but I map it in a way that, you know, all the outskirts is actually taken by the Russian forces. So there is this very advanced movement. The total distance travel is around 1.1 kilometers. So if this continues and the Ukrainians cannot really push back, Chasiv Yar might actually fall to the Russian. Despite the Russians are not really pushing super hard on Chasiv Yar. Like you can, if you see as compared to Kurakhove, the Russians are pushing super hard there. Chasiv Yar is like a slow burner thing, and somehow the Ukrainians continue to lose ground at Chasiv Yar. So, but it's strategically, you know, it's not a threat. Losing Chasiv Yar doesn't threaten Ukrainian positions that much. So, you know, that's about it. You know, it's strategically not that important. Like I say for you guys, the pro-Ukrainians, before, you know, it falls, like, you know, it's strategically not that important. Over at Siversk, the Siversk front, Russian forces fighting in the region of Krychorivka or Grigorovka, or, you know, Bilohorivka or Bilogorovka. But ultimately, no, that's all. Nothing much about here. There is some interesting geolocation. Russian forces have pushed out of Ivano-Darivka, and the Russian forces are found to be in the heavy entrenchment that is on the northwest of Ivano-Darivka. The geolocation is by Crimea Caprice. They say that the Russians have took up a new position in the stronghold west of Ivano-Darivka under fire by the Ukrainian armed forces, and it's really the kind of situation where like, you know, you suddenly found your enemy sitting inside your home, like, you know, yeah, that kind of a weird situation. Yeah, this comes suddenly, and it looks like it's the New Year Eve, and the Russians decided to push harder. That kind of situation. So yeah, really have no chill. So the Russians, if the Russians take this entrenchment, yeah, then that going to shift the tactical situation pretty much, quite a bit. So the Ukrainians' next defensive position is pretty further up north. So yeah, something to really look at. We move into the Liman front. At the Liman front, we have fighting reported at Dibrova, Torske, Yampolivka, Terny, and Ivanivka. So that's all. There's not much. There's no strategic change around here. We move further up north. Over in the Borova front, we have fighting reported at Zeleny High, Peshov Trefneve, Nadia, towards Novoselyevka, Novoyehorivka, Chernyshkina, as well as Druzhlyubivka. So the Russians are pushing super hard. You know, suddenly there's so many freaking arrows in this front. So yeah, who knows? This might be the New Year offensive, the super duper uber Russian New Year offensive. Yeah. So no, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just another day at the office. Over the Pischane front, fighting is mainly in the south of the Pischane, with fighting reported at Zarizove, Novo Kryakivka, and Lozova. So, but that's all from this region here. But if you look in the entirety, from in this area here, can I squeeze in everything? No, I can't. So you can see that Zarizove, Novo Kryakivka, Lozova, Zeleny High, Pesheshevneve, Druzhlyubivka, Chernyshkina, Novoselyevka, Nadia, and Novoyehorivka. You can see that this entire freaking front is burning. Like this entire region here, they're burning, and they are all pushing for one target, Borova. They are really, really trying to, show, like, really push for, Borova. So this is yeah, something to take note. Something to take note. And there's always a high possibility that within the next 1-2 months, this front line will become super significant. We move into the Kupiansk and Voronezh region. Shelling is reported at Kisharivka. Fighting is reported at Zapatne and Voronezh. So there is still fighting at the Voronezh front. That the Kupiansk front has went quiet, and we still are stuck between Zapatne and Voronezh. There is no updates or no news regarding this front line. So not sure what the hell is happening. So let's wait and see. We move on at the Kharkiv front, or we have fighting reported only at Lipsy and Voschansk. So this is Voschansk. Never mind, let's zoom out a bit. This is Voschansk and Lipsy. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet front line. Don't expect too much from this area. We move on over in the Kursk front. At the Kursk front, the strategic situation remains the same as per yesterday. with the southern flank evolving in a new way due to the fighting over at Manovka. So, and then we have fighting reported at Krylovka. The situation, the status of the Cherkasskaya Konopelka region is unclear. So we're not exactly sure whether this is under Russian control, because there's always a possibility that this has fallen to the Russian forces. As this is becoming a salient on its own, like this is a salient, so this is not exactly a good thing for the Ukrainians. Of course, this is also a salient, which the Ukrainians could potentially just cut it off, just chop it off, snip it off, and it's going to be so painful. But yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? And then at least they can transit into a totally different gender. Over in the northern flank, we have fighting reported at Cherkasskaya Poroshnye, Merevka, as well as Novaya Shorokina. So that's the northern flank. Pretty much the same thing the Russians are pushing in all these different places. Kolenkoye regions went quiet, with fighting mainly over in Leonidovo. The rest of the western flank, we have fighting reported. So at Loknia, towards Loknia, Nizhny Klin, and Darino. So that's all we have from the Russian Defense Ministry's report. And so that's about it. So anyway, thank you for watching. This is the summary for the day of 1042 for the 31st of December, the very last SITREP for 2024. And the next day, of course, today is already the new year, the 1st of Jan. But yeah, the next report is going to be 2025. So anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and wish you a happy new year. And you wish me a happy new year. Good job. I'll give you a medal. So good job, Commander, for wishing me a happy new year. We definitely support cronyism, and I'll see you guys in the next update.